Hi guys, welcome back to Vlogmas 2025. I have a hot drink and a Christmas blanket, so I thought I'd sit here and give you guys some Christmas ideas. I have 3 different categories: under $20, under $50, and under $100. I do want to mention that it's Canadian pricing, so if you see anything on here, likely it's going to be cheaper if you're from the States or anywhere else. But yeah, let's jump into it. You see me looking down, I'm sorry, I'm just making sure that I have everything organized and I'm actually giving you the right information. So for under $20, I have a few little selections, starting with some small things. This is more for girls, but I think any outdoorsy girl would be happy with some scrunchies. The next thing I have for you is like little activities to do while you're camping or anything like that. So I always carry around this like little pencil case, and it has word hunt, like word searches, and then I also have another one that's fill in words. These were each, I think, like $1.50 from Dollarama. It's just nice to have something that's like not on your phone and just do if you want to sit in your hammock or float around. So I also, just for like this little kit, bought a couple like highlighters, some pencil, pen, and an eraser. All that like you can get at the dollar store. I would be very happy with any form of fire starter. Sometimes it's just nice to not have to like worry as much about kindling and little wood. So these are from the dollar store, but you can get them at Canadian Tire or anything like that, but definitely under $20. Strip lights have become super popular. I have some in my tent. I bought mine at the dollar store. They're actually behind the monitor lights, and I quite like it because you have USB option and I can plug it into my like portable charger for my phone. If you watch Canadian Tire, you can get like those little power packs for your phones for right around the $20 mark. I have a couple of them and they're super handy, super durable. And then Nick Wax makes a tech wash and waterproofer. I think it comes out to each one being under $20, and I think they're worth their weight in gold to maintain your gear, especially if you have like Gore-Tex and whatnot, like technical gear. I have neoprene socks. I'm not a fan of having like specific types of mud touch my feet when I paddleboard, and it's also nice when I go in colder seasons, like early in the season, late in the season. For these, right now these are I think a little bit over $20, but I bought them originally under $20, so that's why I wanted to put them here. These are from Amazon. 2 more options. I think like a nice gift that any girl or person who like backpacks or travels would be happy with is like bar soap, like so it'd be like bar soap, and then bar shampoo and conditioner. I use all the like both of these. My hair is like super long, it gets all clean and I feel conditioned after, like and those are Jack's 59 or Jack 59. It is also an indigenous brand, so that's kind of cool to support them. But I think any form of solid shampoo and conditioner would be a good option. And then my favorite, I think, left for last, is these little hand guides that you can get. I have, like, as you can tell, like a little collection of them. So this one is like waterfowl, trees, reptiles, mushrooms, fishes, birds, and then edible plants. So I bought these, I think most of them at Trapper Gourds up in DeBolt, but I don't know if you're gonna see that the right way, but they are $9.50 a piece, and I keep a lot of these in my backpack, in my vehicle. And then just a little shout out, but a good friend of mine is one of the authors that was involved with this project, so that was really cool too. But yeah, so any option of these I think people would just like. So you can go around and just see different like IDs for like birds. It is kind of cool to be able to walk around and be like, oh, what tree is that? And you can kind of figure out the big tree. And then, you know, my biggest one is running around and like different types of mushrooms. I do enjoy doing this as another thing to like get off my phone and just enjoy while I'm out camping. So that's under 20. So for gifts under 50, this is a little bit of a longer one. So hopefully there's some good options for both girls and guys in the outdoors, and we can find some good stuff. So I suggested like any form of like really good hiking sock or wool sock. These are JB Fields socks. They are a Canadian brand. You can find these in if you Google them, or there's a store over by the old PV Mart in Spruce Grove. But they are made out of wool, and I find these like super warm. Another option in terms of like that could be Darn Tough socks. Anything like a rechargeable hand warmer. I actually would like some myself, instead of having those ones that you throw out, but you can charge them and reuse them that way. I also think like a cooler cloth would be a great option for, I say, any female hikers or backpackers, campers that you know, but maybe a man or a guy could use one. You never know. I have a number of these, but Mora, or I call them Mora knives. I really like these. So all of mine were originally soil knives, so I have to sharpen them all, but like with them being used in soil, I need to wash it, they did hold a sharp edge for surprisingly long time. Which can be anywhere from 30 to 50. And then I also have like this kind of more style. These are the more expensive. I think this is like 45. Yeah, I really like these ones, and I like that this is high vis. I believe there's a green option. And then this one, the reason why the blade looks different is this is a carbon blade, and I don't know what got on the blade to mark it up like that, but didn't change the blade's functionality or its ability to have anything sharp, or to stay sharp, sorry. It's a form of Swede saw, or one of those bendable like saws for cutting wood. It would be like a small like first aid kit. I believe this was just like under 30 when I bought it, and I've added a few little things, but I really like the size of this, and I have done a lot. Unfortunately, I've had some accidents. I've done a lot with what's in here. Kind of to go from there, I think a really good option is like a banger or flare kit. A kit this size is going to be probably closer to 100, but I do know that you can get like the pen, and I think 2 flares and 2 bear bangers for around 40 to 50. So keep that in mind. It's always nice to have that as an option to carry. And I think it also follows under thing like an emergency bivvy. It wasn't something that I originally considered buying myself, but I ended up with one, and I actually have had to use it, not in an emergency setting, but there was a time when we were in the mountains that my sleeping bag was not keeping me warm, so I ended up sleeping inside of the emergency bivvy too. Something that I always think is nice is like, if you're going to be more dedicated like car camping or stable, is like a percolator, or like one of these types of coffee pots. I typically only heat water in this, and then I make coffee with the hot water, but that's why I have this one. And You can also get like a percolator that goes inside of it to make you percolated coffee. I just make cowboy coffee if I am going to make coffee in this. Is the AeroPress coffee maker. You put your coffee grounds in hot water that you've just heated up. In here, you put the plunger in, you let it sit for a while, and then you plunge the coffee in the cup. And you can make like coffee that way. So I believe this is about $45, Mountain Equipment Co-op. They do like these GIS Outdoors cups along with the GIS French press. Thing with coffee to go with it if you're looking is a coffee grinder. This is the vibe for the person you're wanting to get a gift for. I think a coffee grinder would also work. So you put your coffee beans in here. There's a setting in here where you can change how it's ground. You put this in here and then you put your handle in here and you flip this around and you grind your coffee. So, and last but not least, my favorites are the Mech down booties. These are quite old. I think I got these in 2012 and they're still going strong. The soles still look good, but they're under $50 and I do really like them for walking around camp. They keep you quite warm. So for gifts under 100, Gore-Tex Kokanee Mech Gaiters are over 50, but they do have some other options that aren't Gore-Tex that are under the 50. So just to mention that. Something that is on my wish list is the Peak Design camera clip that you can like hook on your backpack that you just mount on the bottom of your camera and it clips. So I'll include a picture there. That's under 100. And quickly mentioning a bigger bear banger set that I showed you would be a good option. And then also bear spray. Some people just like me don't love spending that money, but do understand the importance of it. So I know I would be happy if someone got me something like that as a gift because they thought my safety was important. Things that I consider like my top 2 gifts are like a sleeping pad of some form. I bought this a couple years ago. It's a Climate Static V2. I really like this. I would like to eventually get an insulated version for winter camping, but this is the first one that I've gotten and I've been really happy about it. And as you guys can see, I paid, is it going to show? Yeah, just under $100 for it. But no, it's been a really good option. I've really enjoyed having it. And then last but not least, I'm a cold sleeper, like a super cold sleeper. So I have a Thermalite Sea to Summit reactor like liner for sleeping bag. The one I could get ended up being a short, and as someone who's 6 foot, I actually fit in it quite well, so I'm happy with that. But it is kind of just like a thin, it's almost like a merino material, but not, sorry, it's almost like a merino material, but it's not. But I find that this just adds like a little bit extra heat for me when I'm sleeping in my sleeping quilt on top of my sleeping pad. So it's been a great addition to my kit, and I think it would make a great gift idea for someone who's a cold sleeper. I think just to point out, like, this is a standard size, well, maybe a little bit bigger of a coffee cup, and this is not really that much bigger. So if you're looking for something just to have in case, this is a really good option. So I just wanted to mention a couple like honorable suggestions that have caught my eye that I've seen on the market, and that's like a rumple down blanket. I think they're super cute. I love that they have like different designs on them, and I've heard they're quite warm. I think you pronounce it Fabuki boots. They've been getting quite popular. I am not someone who loves pink, but I love these pink ones. But they have some different colors and options for them. G2G, I believe is, yeah, G2G. It's a brand. If you look it up on Instagram, they have down filled hoods for you to wear hiking or whatever you want to do, sleeping, for camping, but they have bear ears on them. I think they're the sweetest thing ever, and it's actually something that's on kind of like my wish list. From of Yeti, anything would be something people would enjoy. I get a lot of use out of like Yeti's version of a Stanley. They're different types of coffee cups and their water bottles. I use them for cold water, hot water, always great options. And yeah, just wanted to mention a couple other honorable mentions.